Well, hey, welcome back to the Crosswinds Church More Than Sunday podcast. We've got kind of a cool one today. Andrea, my wife, one of our pastors, Andrea, had a chance to reach out and talk to Caroline in Uganda at City Church Kampala. That's a church that we support. I'm here with Andrea right now. Why don't you explain what this is we're going to listen to?
Okay. So Caroline and I got to talk a little bit this morning where she shared with me a couple things. First of all, how they're doing with the pandemic, the changes they've had to make at City Church Kampala. I also asked her to share with us a little bit about how it's been since Pastor Wilbur, who visited us at Crosswinds last October, has now moved back to Kampala and is now, again, part of their leadership team there. And then lastly, to let us know how it's going with the renovation that Crosswinds Close-Up has helped fund. As you know, a bunch of us as a team went over there this past August, got to work with their SOHA program, which is where they work with kids, and the kids come to their church campus every Saturday. And the room they were using was in really, really poor shape, and it's attached to the rest of their offices. So we, through Crosswinds, have been able to fund a renovation of that, and they already started the work and are continuing to get that work done and ready for the kids once the next session starts up.
Good. Thank you for that context. I think what you're going to hear really is kind of an eavesdrop on a conversation between Andrea and Carol. And as such, that context really helps. The other thing I'll say is we're very new at this podcast technology at Crosswinds, and you're going to hear a lot of weird overlapping conversation between Andrea and Caroline. There's not much we could do about it because there was a weird lag on the other end with Uganda and their internet. And so you'll hear moments where Carol is almost talking at the same time as Andrea. But I think when this is all put together, you'll at least be able to get a sense of what's going on down there. All right. Enjoy this interview with Caroline.
Well, hey, Pastor Caroline, thank you so much for finding a way to connect with me all the way across the earth.
Yes. Hey, Andrea. Thank God for technology. Feels like it's just having a cup of tea.
Right, exactly. This is so great. We're both sitting in our respective homes. Caroline is in Uganda and Kampala. Yeah. Do you actually live in Kampala? Yeah. Okay, I thought so. And we just want to kind of hear how you guys are doing. So first of all, let's just jump right in. Obviously, we've all been greatly affected by this pandemic. And Can you just share with us a little bit about how is it affecting you guys at City Church Kampala, and what are you doing and all that?
Okay, so our government has banned public gatherings. That includes church or any gathering above 10 people and above. So we obviously can't have church. And so we've resorted to going online. That is new and exciting and tough, and getting the team together to do that all at once at such short notice. But it worked out. So we started Sunday, which was last Sunday. And then since Sunday, we've been doing what we're calling Love Encounter broadcasts, which lasts about 20 minutes. And every day, Monday to
What is
Saturday.
It called again?
Love Encounter broadcasts. So we have something we call Love Encounter.
Oh, Love Encounter broadcast.
Yes, so it's a Love Encounter broadcast. Okay. And that's happening every day at 1 p.m. East African time. So from Monday to Saturday. So we're trying to make sure that every day our members that are able to go online have a message. And sort of to stay in prayer because of also the atmosphere is very fearful. Like if you watch the news, it's so negative. It's so, oh my God, it only gets worse. And these people died and these people have it. And
right.
That's all you see everywhere. Literally, you turn the channels and now everything is just Corona, COVID-19, this. These people died here. These people,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fear.
And that's pretty much how it is here as well. Like it inundates every news channel, some aspect of it or another. So we are on the same, having the same experience with that.
So there's just so much fear going around.
So,
okay.
So is that something when you do the Love Encounter broadcast, are you mainly kind of trying to talk about those fears and just encourage people, or what would be a typical thing that might be?
We're not directly going like, oh, so you're listening and you're afraid, but we will give us scripture like, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of sound mind. Or the last couple ones, we've been talking about healing, that God is able to heal. God is like sort of just front the word, which is in itself power, which is in itself encouraging, so that we're not always hearing, oh my God, now we're up to 14 people, now we're up to 20 people, now 5 people died, or, all the negativity, and
Right.
just sort of get back into the word, keep people in prayer, keep reminding people about God's promises and that He has us covered and we will get through this regardless of what is. Yeah, He said He will never leave us, He will never forsake us. So it's just
Right.
going around those scriptures. You also don't want to, because I was home Sunday, which was so weird. It's like, what? What am I doing?
So weird to be home on Sunday. I know, me too. We're like, what is happening? Why are we home on a Sunday? It messed up my
Which
whole
day?
week.
I
I had
know.
no idea what day it was, any of
Yesterday,
the other days.
I thought yesterday was
Yeah,
Wednesday or
it was
something. I was like, what?
bizarre.
No, it's not. It's, oh my God. And Sunday felt like Saturday because I was like, just,
Yeah. And Sunday, and I will say this, having been to your
yeah.
church when we came to visit, it is a big deal. Like, people come from all over. Some of them walk really far to get there. Everybody is dressed up to the hilt. Like, we at Crosswinds look like total slobs compared to how you guys dress up for church. And it's a whole thing, and it's extensive, and then everybody stays
Yeah.
after. And so, yes, I can say for
Sunday
sure that would be
morning, I'm like,
crazy to
okay,
miss
so
that.
turn the TV on. Who's preaching on what channel? And everybody's preaching about coronavirus and, and they're explaining. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear that. I just want to hear God's word and just be in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
these are just regular, like,
Yes. That are always,
preachers that are always on
yes. And they were
TV
just like going
in
on and
Kampala,
on.
right? Yeah. So your people are going, yeah, I bet. So you're whoever has access to online in your church is going online, and then they're watching a live version
Yes.
or a pre-recorded version
So
of your service. So now, are you singing? Now, one of the things, and this will kind of go into our other thing I wanted to ask you about is, so you have been as the lead pastor of this church for the first 7 years it existed. Pastor Wilbur, that we all got to meet when he came and visited us in October. He moved there in
January
January
27th. So
February. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so then he came, and now he's acting as senior pastor, but you also have always been really involved in the worship. So what's changed with what you're doing? I'm assuming on these videos you're doing a lot of the worship, or what?
This last Sunday, I didn't do the worship. Someone else did, because I still want to like have other people do it, give them the opportunity. I don't want to be like yeah.
Yeah, and you have a great team and
So
so many
I
many
don't
good
want it to be a
musicians there,
one-man
so that
show,
makes
but
sense.
I am like in charge of the worship team. So in terms of knowing who is doing what and how we're doing it and where we're going and having the vision for it, that is still on my plate. Pastor Will, before you guys all met him, he's like, is he going to hear this recording? Okay. He's like an energizer buddy. Oh my God.
That's up to him.
Okay.
I can't control if he watches it
Yeah.
or hears it. He's like an Energizer bunny. That's true. I would
he's
say
like,
that.
there's
Having met
always
him now,
something
I get
going
that.
on. So definitely from the time he came, it's been like 5 times busier. And I love you, Pastor Wilbur, if you're listening, like for real. And I'm with you. I'm like running behind you, trying to keep up. So there's like so much going on. And he came just in time for us to start the building. And we had what we call Love Encounter. We have a week where we go out into the community and give back. So that's called Love Encounter. So that's why we continue with the Love Encounter broadcasts and something. Yes.
Got it. So you
Yes.
did a whole week where you were
Yes.
in the community,
Yes.
just really
We
hands-on,
gave out
helping
food
people. Like what kinds of
packages.
things were you doing?
So we put together small food packages, rice, cooking oil, sugar, a couple of essentials, soap, and we go to families and we evangelize and we give them food packages. And then we have revival meetings from like Wednesday to Friday. And so we had those in the evening from 6:30 to 8:30. And people got saved, people got born again, and then we go back during the day and we will evangelize, we'll pray in the community, we will do different things with the community. There was a time we used to do community projects where we'd sweep or we'd, like build a bridge or something. This time we didn't have it, but we were just in there giving food packages. And then
Wow.
Saturday night,
Yeah,
we
that's
had
a lot.
a worship experience to crown the whole week. And then, so we finished that and had a Sunday service. And then that week, the public gatherings were banned. So it was kind of like, yes, it was kind of like we finished that week and we finished Sunday and then
Wow.
we had the next Sunday. And after that, the public gatherings were banned. So it was kind of like, oh, thank God that was over.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, you're so thankful that you got it in time. But at the same time, just speaking as from one pastor to another,
Yes.
it feels like,
Yes.
oh, we had this momentum going, and then it all kind of
was
just
like
got
when they said no
squashed
public
because now
gatherings,
we
we had
can't
like
keep it
hit
going.
like, okay, we're going, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, boom, no, we can't do that, no, we can't do this. But that's why we're trying to keep up the momentum online, and so far that's been going good. We've had very good views online. People are actually watching the videos. People are responding in the groups on WhatsApp, and you can see people interact, and and we still have the daily messages going out. So we're just trying to keep the momentum up, so that by the time we come back after 30 days, or
That's
we're
great.
praying it's 30 days, we can hit the road running again, and we haven't really stopped running because
Right. Yeah, I think we're all having to kind of have these ways where we can, keep the connection. I heard somebody say on one of the many, many news shows I was watching, someone actually had this phrase of being socially distant but spiritually connected. And I thought that was so good because that's what we're trying to do is keep that community and spiritual connection with our churches. So for anybody here at Crosswinds that maybe wants to watch your service, we can stay connected with you guys, see what you're doing through YouTube, Facebook, both called City Church Kampala. So you're easy to find that way. So let's just talk real quick. I know we have connected with you guys and have been partnering with you through our visit, through having Wilberforce come. And then a lot of our people don't know this yet, but Pastor Caroline was also going to come. And we had you planning, we were having you come middle of April and be with us for several weeks. And of course, we had to cancel that. So we hope to get to just postpone that to have you come. But another of the ways that we've been supporting your ministry there at CCK and SOHA, the children's program that we were a part of, is financially. And one of the ways that we're doing that is we sent you guys enough funds to be able to renovate the primary room that you have for the kids. So can you just tell us a little bit about the renovation and what's going on there?
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for everything. We have started the renovations. It feels like building all over again. And the fact that the extension was what we built, but the main building, we hadn't built that ourselves. We got it when we bought the land, the office. So having to connect the two opened up to us finding out all the stuff that was done wrong in the office building. Like the roofing was done wrong, the ceilings. So we've had to literally repeat everything, which was like, okay, like just... So actually by the time they asked us, they banned the public gatherings, we had already asked our staff to work from home because it was just not conducive to work from office. There was dust everywhere. They were breaking stuff. They were putting stuff back together. Everything was in chaos. Just know we have all our stuff in like the SOHA office, the little Soha office has everything that was ever in the office. So it's not nice. but we have
right. So you guys have had to vacate the building
yes.
Where you were working because that was part of the building that's getting renovated.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. But we broke down, we rebuilt, we've done the roofing, they finished the ceiling. And I think this past week they were doing a couple of things in the office because we decided to also do the expansion of the office at once because you know how tiny our office was. So they've broken
right, which you needed. You guys were very crowded in there.
And Pastor Wilbur is back, so he needs an office too. So we had to break down and add a couple of walls. And so I think this week we're doing the tiling. And then after tiling, I think the next is painting and plastering. They've put in the windows. I think we just need to put in the glasses all over. So I will hopefully send you pictures so you
Very cool. We'd love to see pictures. So at this point, then the construction is still able to go on because it's a small crew.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yes, it's going on. There are only like 3 guys that are there all the time. So it's not as fast as if you had more people, but it's still going on even through the ban that started last week. We've still been able to slowly keep getting stuff done. So this week is tiling. So they're supposed to be tiling the offices and all that.
That's great that there's only a small handful of them. Yeah, that's actually been a benefit for you guys that it's a small crew. So hopefully then they'll be able to continue doing that. And then once everything gets back to normal, you'll be able to pick right back up with the program once the program would have normally started, right?
Plan. And it's kind of all things work out for our good. So
did you guys have to stop doing classes for a while because of construction, or did that work in time with when the kids normally would have a break anyway?
It worked in time when they would have a break anyway because they were back to school and everything. So we didn't have to have the classes, but then now with the public ban, we couldn't go back to the classes. And so we're just using it now so that we don't, because they would meet in the tent anyway in the church. So they could meet there even without having to use their place. But now with the public bans and everything, I feel like it just gives us time to, okay, let's just finish this. Let's do this building while we still have the time and we have fewer staff coming in. And so it's not as busy. The office isn't as crowded and as busy as before. So we can think and get stuff done quickly. So kind of like all things work together.
Yeah, it is really good stuff that's happening there. We're so excited to get to kind of watch from afar and be a small part of it. And just excited for when you will be able to come visit us. We are going to be ready for you and so happy to partner with you guys. We're praying for you. Yeah. And so glad we got to talk, even though we were a little...
But we got through them. Woohoo! We did it.
We got through them, and so happy for our church to get to hear from you and just kind of hear what's going on there and how we can continue to be together in all of this.
You're welcome.
So thanks so much.
Too. It's an honor.